Welcome to Personal Finance 101. Today we're going to have a special edition where we're going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of refinancing a home. My name is Franz, and as usual, we bring subjects that we discuss and we try to give you as much information as possible that may help you to understand the procedure, the process, the steps that are needed, our own opinion of the situation. We're not an expert. We are a real estate broker for about 20 years. We've been a realtor also for about 25 years. And we're here today to share our knowledge with you. If you like what you hear, please help us out and give us a thumbs up underneath, and also subscribe to this channel. It will help us a lot with YouTube. So we thank you for listening to us. Basically, the steps, we're going to start with the disadvantages since they are way less than the advantages. Disadvantages of refinancing. First of all, what is a refinancing? We need to define refinancing. Refinancing meaning financing again. So that means you did finance before. And we have a special show and a special video on mortgage and on financing for the first time when you buy a home. So basically today we're going to talk about the refinancing. So somebody that's going to refinance, it's somebody that did own a house and today decide to finance it again. Finance it again, so that means you're going to, disadvantage of refinancing, the first one is it's not free. So refinancing costs money. Second disadvantage is you're basically starting over in the mortgage, because when you refinance, if let's say you refinance for 30 years, you're having another mortgage where you start from payment 1 month to all the way to 360 months. That's what 30 years is. Second disadvantage, you got to pay for it. There's a cost. The cost is about 3% of the loan amount. Disadvantages again, and you're going to have to deal with a new institution. So that means if you had it with a company X, financing company X, now you're refinancing, most likely you're going to be with company B, which is completely different. So if you're used to making payment with somebody, you are comfortable with that company, now you're going to be dealing with another company, which is not a problem, but for certain people it may become an issue because they are comfortable with the company they were in. And most of the time the company you are in or you are with at the time is not the best choice, and it's not necessarily, I said necessarily, the company that's going to give you the best advantage. Okay, now those are the disadvantages. What are the advantages? Before I talk about the advantages, let me talk about the reason why somebody refinance a house. To refinance a house, first of all, the rule of thumb is you got to lower your interest rate by about 2%. So meaning if you had an 8% interest rate in your house, if you find an interest rate which is 6% or lower, it's a good deal. It's suggested to be a good deal for you. Rule of thumb. So somebody refinance why? For example, they may have, when they are buying their house for the first time, they may have with their wife, for example, and if they are divorcing the wife, they need to remove her from the house, or the wife wants to remove the husband from the mortgage. To do that, you refinance and you remove the other person's name and you refinance on your name only. The second reason is, also you can remove a relative or a friend, somebody that did help you to purchase the house at the first time. If you had any type of issue or situation, you couldn't do it by yourself. Second reason somebody refinance is for payment. If you are paying, for example, $2,000 and you find it too high and you want to reduce it, because remember, your mortgage payment is fixed if you have a fixed rate. So if you got a mortgage for 30 years, that payment is $2,000. It's going to be $2,000 every month for 30 years. Even if when you started, you had, let's say the mortgage was $300,000, and after 10 years you owe, let's say $220,000, you're still paying $2,000. But if you refinance that $220,000 today, even if the rate is the same, you will get a lower payment. So people do it to reduce interest rate. They refinance to reduce their payment, not necessarily their interest rate. And some people refinance to get money. The same example I just gave you, if you purchase a house for $300,000 and today you owe $220,000, you have $80,000 equity, which is $300,000 minus $220,000. That gives you $80,000 equity. So the difference that you have in the house, we call it equity. Okay, so that $80,000, if you want to get it out, to cash it out, in order for you to use that money for something else, you can refinance and get that money also. So those are the differences, the reason why somebody refinances. Now, what are the advantages of refinancing? If you refinance and your rate was 6%, now it's 2%, definitely you reduce your rate, right? So that's better for you. And if your payment was $2,000, then the payment goes $1,600, you save $400. I'm going to give you a few examples of somebody that purchased a house back in a certain time, and then you can see the difference yourself. Again, you are listening to Personal Finance 101. We are here today to try to explain a few things about life in general, money, about regular budget, savings, retirement, how to buy a house, how to refinance a house, advantage, disadvantage of everything. And we just explain it to you so you can better understand. My name is Franz. I'm a real estate broker for about 20 years, and I was a real estate agent for about 25 years. Because before you become a broker, you got to be a realtor. We're here to serve you, and we got a few video links at the bottom of the screen. You can click on them in order for you to learn more about the program. Remember also, please subscribe and like the video by giving us, and also comment, put questions, anything you want. We'll be glad to answer them when we can. As you can see now, we are giving an example of a home price that somebody paid $200,000 for it in September 2011. So as you can see in the screen, they have a down payment of 5%. They took 30-year loan with an interest rate of 6%. So the taxes, we put about 1.5%. The insurance was about $1,800, and other costs, which was about $3,000. So what mattered the most for us is the top part here, where you see the home price, $200,000, down payment 5%. This gives the person a payment of $1,139.15. This is your payment for 30 years for total of 360 mortgage payment monthly. So basically, you're financing $200,000 minus 5% of $200,000, which is $10,000. So the loan amount is $190,000. When you finish paying it in 30 years, you're going to pay $410,000. Basically, you're paying a total interest of $220,000. You will finish paying the mortgage in September 2041, because remember, it's a 30 years. So 11 plus 30 give you 2041. So what's going to happen if you refinance the house? So before that, we need to show you something else. So basically, I wanted to show you the monthly amortization schedule. And the monthly amortization schedule in September 2011, your balance is $190,000. Interest you pay is $950. Your principal is $189.15. Principal is what reduces the balance of the mortgage every month. So after the first month, when you make your first payment, you got $189,810 left. This is for your first payment. Okay, so let's say that person decide they're going to refinance today in September 2020. How much money do they owe the bank, and how much interest and principal are they paying today, 9 years later? Let's see. Okay, so here we are in year 9, September 2020. The balance is $163,000. Okay, so he started at 190. So basically, they pay off all that money during that time, which is about $27,000. They pay 9 years. This is, remember, that line is the interest rate, $815, and the principal reduction is $324. So every month, September 2024, October 2020, 110th payment, principal reduction is $325.76. So the balance of the mortgage today is $162,351. Okay. So now, let's say that person, remember, they had $162,000 left. They're refinancing today in October 2020, or September 2020, and they have $170,000 left, because you remember, we got to put closing costs to the refinancing you're going to do. No down payment. You go for 30 years at 2.25% about. Your payment goes to $649. Remember how much your payment was before. So instead of paying the $1,300 you were paying before, now you pay $649. This is the money you are saving every month, principal and interest. And I got to show you the amount of principal. Remember the example before, the principal that you had was $314, and now it's $331 in September 2020. And this is the balance that you have. And your payment is way less, so you save way more. So basically, that's what we wanted to explain to you so you can understand the advantage of refinancing. My name is Franz. We're glad that you are with us today to listen to our show, Advantages and Disadvantages of Refinancing a Home Loan on Personal Finance 101.